Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Black Mirror 2. I guess we have to go in the crypt because there's kind of nothing else to do right now, so here we go. We're walking in the path of Samuel
The ground's
Gordon.
real soft everywhere here. I think it must be a swamp. I bet as soon as it rains, you can't put one foot in front of the other.
But I don't
This
know what
building must be the only one you can still get
doing.
into.
Like, if we follow the path of Samuel Gordon, the soul keys won't be there anymore. So
Little Van Helsing reckoned that Angelina had spent a long time messing around the
who
tomb here.
knows?
And here's the lid, not lying squarely on the sarcophagus.
We now suspect Angelina is with the Order, or at least conspiring in some ways.
There are some stone chips which have come off the edge. Doesn't look all too old. Angelina had opened the sarcophagus. That much is clear. But why?
We can go to the garden this way, but not this way. Interesting. Are we gonna get a jump scare?
I don't know why Angelina had lifted the lid off the sarcophagus, but she did. I'm sure of that much. The question is, how can I do that? The lid must weigh several hundred pounds. Angelina must have definitely had some kind of suitable equipment on hand, as opposed to me.
Well, I have a metal bar. I have a pulley.
I can't get the lid open using the pulley on its own.
I have a rope. So I'm gonna have to figure some things out.
There are two belts. They look like carrion slings. And they look new.
So let's take those.
The belts are a ripstop weave. They'll sure hold quite a bit.
Let's look at this
In
sarcophagus.
horror stories, there's always secret passageways under sarcophaguses like this. And they always lead down into secret underground chambers. In reality, though, I think I can exclude that idea. There are only probably some horrible beetles and corpse-eating maggots in there.
Let's look at the
The
statues.
stone statue is covered in moss, like the others. It's carrying a metal shield. Unusual. The shield hasn't been moved in years. False alarm.
Just looking
A
at
stone
everything,
figure
trying to
holding
exhaust
weighing
everything.
Scales. The scales are empty.
No, I didn't want to leave. Well, we're out here. Let's see if maybe this will work with this. Apparently not. Alright, come back.
Could be Poseidon. Well, the statue's got a trident in its hand at least.
Show hotspots. Okay, I've exhausted everything now. Put that there.
I'll place the sling around the back right corner, and the other around the front left one. The slings are exactly long enough to touch in the middle. Great idea. Oh, but sadly I've forgotten my crane. You know, the one I wanted to hang the pulley from?
There's a
The lid
dilapidated
is
ceiling.
partly fallen in. That would appear to have been a few years back, though.
So rope on the ceiling, pulley on the ceiling.
A good plan. Unfortunately, the thing doesn't have hooks.
So we've got to go get the hook. So this is a pretty obvious puzzle. We've had way too many puzzles at this point. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'll use this metal bar on that hook. Let's see how that works. Let's look at the hook and see if there's an indication on how I'm supposed to take it off.
No. I don't need to strain myself there. It's well fixed.
We tried all the things. I feel like I might already be lost. Let's go ahead and go back. Click around. There's an entire page just torn out of this magazine. Follow Angelina's trail. Break into the lab. And we've only got a thing. A couple of things that we can do. Is there anything I can collect from going back?
The trees only have their first branches quite high up. And barely, but they're still too thick.
Like, there must be something in the next area that connects. Maybe? Now we've got a couple of things here. Rope and collapsed wall. And ruins. So we got the ruins, we got the wall, we got the collapsed wall. We're not doing anything with the gargoyle. Metal bar, collapsed wall. Ruins. Hose, collapsed wall, wall, ruins. And pulley, collapsed wall, wall, and ruins. Be slightly helpful if it turned out I can't leave this area, but let's see. Worn out garden hose wouldn't really do anything for the water tap.
The rip in the pipe is so big that I can just as well let the water splash onto the ground.
Let's see. Turn on the water tap.
Completely filthy water tap.
Turn that on, see what happens.
Well, who'd have thought it? It still works.
We have water.
A battery-powered toy car. When you turn it on, it just goes dumbly straight ahead. Looks like it's hardly been played with.
So I need some kind of tape.
A certainly old, but still functioning water tap.
Tape would give me water to do what? Fill up a water basin? Let's see, we're over here, and we could talk to the boy, I guess, and double check this. This game is taking way too long, and so now when they're presenting me with a new puzzle, I'm starting to think, why is that axe as an option? like a hatchet. Like, frankly, I would much prefer to just be done with this game. I think some of the point-and-click adventure games that go episodic might be doing the right thing. Keeping it short, keeping it sweet.
Hey, look!
Not overly complicating things. So we give the boy back his car. And then I guess he's got a hatchet? Who could tell with the tiny pixels? Well, I just clicked hatchet and nothing happened.
I've got to get going, okay? But, can you hold the fort here?
Of course.
Oh, there is a hatchet and a peg over here that I don't think were there before. They're literally just hiding things in the furthest corner, the impossible to see sections.
The little guy's hatchet. Oh, it's seen better days. Approximately a foot-long sharpened wooden stake. I really doubt that there are vampires here. Can I just borrow the hatchet?
Yeah, of course.
And as far as the peg, apparently I didn't need that. Well, that probably solves some of this. Let's see. Back to the back, I double clicked and that saved us some time. Although that was a rather abrupt screen change because of it. Chop down these trees.
This'll take a while. The axe is real blunt. Okay, I felled the trees and trimmed the trunks for a good 1.5 yards.
So take those tree trunks.
The tree trunks are about an arm's thickness and pretty long.
Tie them up with rope.
Now how does that go? You can somehow rig up a tripod out of 3 pieces of wood. So...
You have to do a knot of some sort.
Yep, exactly. And now... one tripod. Just has to be erected now. I'll position it as well as I can over the sarcophagus.
Okay. Wasn't really expecting it to play out that way, but okay.
I'll hang the pulley on the rope. I'll try to get as much of the rope as I can.
And then... does the pulley have a chain that you can just connect to and lift the sarcophagus? Carrying slings, pulley.
The length just makes it. Real careful. I hope it's gonna hold.
Now we can walk down the sarcophagus. Apparently it's a secret.
What have we got here? Steps leading down. The gap is big enough to squeeze through. I only hope that my rig up doesn't collapse as soon as I'm in.
This is funny because he just said earlier that he didn't think there was a secret passage. And turns out there was. And now that's somehow connected to the laboratory.
Now where's this then?
Seems.
Looks like the inside of a tower. And here's some kind of crater in the floor. Looks like something's exploded here.
So we've got all kinds of junk to look at again. Seriously. Do we need all this?
Chains, wrought iron rings, crudely hewn stones. Not exactly what you'd call modern craftsmanship. Rather more like a Frankenstein movie. Whether the crack goes back to the explosion or appeared later, I don't know. Whichever the case, it doesn't look good. It looks like there wasn't any fire. There's no charring in the rubble.
Just continuously trying to click on everything.
There's paper lying everywhere. Most of it's soaked through from rainwater.
There's like nothing to say about all of this stuff. It's
A
just
piece of plastic
more
tube.
and more of the same.
Okay, I'll stick it in. Rather light. The walls of the pipe are thin. Maybe it belongs to part of a ventilation system or something. The poster survived the explosion relatively undamaged. It was probably hit squarely by the pressure wave and then pressed against the wall.
The thing here too is Darren hasn't talked to anybody. I think in probably several hours of gameplay and probably several hours also of real world time.
Here's a table showing the occurrences of blood groups.
AB's very common, C, B is very common, A and D is very rare. Or O.
Most of the people have blood group AB. Then comes B, then A, and then quite rarely there's group O.
So if he finds out he's O blood type and so was Samuel Gordon, that's supposed to, I assume, indicate the confirmation you're related. As if that's even really a question.
Huh. Here's a folder. It's only wet on one corner.
Here's a welding set.
Oh, hey! A welding torch. Angelina was using some heavy gear. But it doesn't look like it's been used. The safe wasn't cut open.
Apparently because he has a
Works
physics
perfectly,
background,
but
he
it's
knows
not
how to
gonna help me
weld.
much with the safe.
I really wouldn't have thought that was a guarantee. Let's look at this passage.
I can't get through there. The passage has collapsed a few yards in.
Collapsed instead of collapsed. Man, voice actor didn't care. Did not care at all. Or mostly the director didn't care. He would have said, hey, we need a second take on that, otherwise. So I guess we're getting into the safe.
The safe survived the explosion undamaged, I'd say. These burns may have well come from a welding set. The kid reckoned that Angelina looked real pleased with herself. Somehow she must have got the safe open. Now what have we got here? A combination lock. But not with numbers, with letters.
And so... what do we have here? S... B... I think we're gonna be spelling blood. If I was to guess. That'd be my guess. If it's not if that's not right, then who knows? Nope. There's no L. Just goes through like F. Okay, so A, B, then B, then A, then O. There you go. So it was just the picture, the poster. What's in the safe?
A metal holder with several blood samples. The boy mentioned that there's a number on each sample, and there's a list of names stuck on the back of the safe. Now let's see. Weird. The numbers 1 to 5 are missing. That's Richard Gordon and William Gordon. Gordon's blood. What does Angelina want with that? Does she need it herself or something? Or does she want to stop it getting into other people's hands?
Maybe the blood will
Whatever
summon
it is,
the demon.
I can't trust her anymore. She's in this thing somehow and she's lied to me. I ought to drive back to Willow Creek. Maybe she's turned up there in the meantime. And then we'll see.
You ought to go back to America and just ignore all of this.
There's nothing else in it apart from the blood samples. And I know what I had to know. Angelina was after the Gordon's blood. The question is, why? And what have I got to do with it?
Like, knowing how the first game ended, the best case scenario for Darren here, is to go back home and ignore everything he's learned and just and live his life. There seems to be some kind of time factor.
You've been in the crypt? Are there coffins in there?
Yeah, but no vampires.
Let's see if they animated the kid better
Well,
this
what
way.
is it then?
A car! The other man's back!
The other kidnapper? Huh. Thanks for the warning. Okay, run home and tell your parents they should call the police, okay?
Cool.
Like, they had a full 3D animation
Gotta be
there.
careful. Tom won't be too happy.
Of course,
that
that kid did just walk through the mist and look ghost-like also, so maybe that kid was a ghost the whole time. Where are we now? Like, what is even our goal? It's just to take on a fight and escape. We solve that. We solve that. Still, the best argument whatsoever that Darren is crazy is the crazy way he scribbles through things in his own journal. Like, any way you scribble, you'd be pretty consistent. You wouldn't have 20 different ways you did it. Let's see, hook with small tube with hatchet.
I'll try to loosen the hook using the hatchet.
So we've got a hook.
That worked amazingly well.
And those two things don't connect.
The piece with the rib can't be repaired. I'll cut that bit out.
Okay. So that gives us
Okay.
a better hose.
Now I've got 2 halfway usable hose ends.
Alright.
Yeah, great. The tube fits exactly in the hose. Not. If I heat it up first, it ought to expand. And then I could connect the 2 hose ends.
I didn't even know what you were doing. It's ridiculous. The guy's being sarcastic to me when, like, I didn't even know what you were even gonna try. I'm just trying everything, game. Don't complain to me because I'm trying everything. That's what you've rewarded me to do throughout the whole game. Guess I want to double check over here while I'm here and see if there's maybe some more extra thing to take a picture of. Nope. Alright. This with the welding set to heat it up. Most of this stuff I don't think I'm going to use right now.
If I heat up the plastic tube, it'll expand. Then the ends of the hose will fit into the tube.
I would think you'd do better to heat up the hose ends, since you have more of that together anyways.
It fits. Just wait a bit while it cools down.
And it actually makes you wait.
Done. It's a pretty close fit on the hose. No more water's getting out of there. When the water flows through it, that'll cool the tube down completely.
Great. So we have a water tap, and we have a hose, and we have no real reason to use it. Unless maybe I'm supposed to make some kind of trap and get the marsh wetter. I guess maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I'm making a booby trap to get them stuck in the marsh.
The hose is in position.
Remember, the game doesn't have a quest right now like that. There's no quest saying do anything like this. I'm just kind of figuring it out. Normally, I would feel like the game would tell me, no, you can't do that until you walk into the other screen and get chased off by the bad guys. So I guess I'm happy the game is at least letting me
It's on.
Figure things out before I need to figure them out.
Okay, good. Let's put the whole swamp underwater.
Later.
That ought to do it.
It's always weird that it says later or 5 minutes later, and then some scenes don't. So we've got a marsh now that is definitely something you'd fall into and get stuck.
From here, it doesn't look all that different. But I've pumped at least 20 gallons of water into the ground. It'll be noticeably softer than before.
So hook. I don't have the hook to do anything with. So unless I'm supposed to merge items that I don't really have, I think I've done everything I need to do. And this kind of feels like a potential place where a game over would have happened. Let's see. If I hadn't prepared the way, much like the one game over in the first game. I assume there was only one game over in the first game. That's the only one I ever saw.
Tom's car's back there. Maybe I could hotwire it and...
I don't care what's happened to your head, you useless pisswit. Make sure you get the old cow on the phone. I'll look for that bastard.
I'm never gonna get to the car. Tom would see me, and I think I've seen a weapon. Looks like there are two options. I can wait here for the police and then explain to them for hours on end what's going on here. Or I can lay a trap for Tom and then steal his car.
And so now the game tells me to lay a trap. Let's see. So can I not go back into the castle?
Okay, let's hope everything works as planned.
So we'll see if this worked.
Hey! Tom!
Stop! Stay where you are!
If they wanted to kill him, they would have done
or
it.
I'll shoot.
And I'd bet that'd be the highlight of your last 5 minutes on Earth. Tom.
Get me out of here!
Huh. Why should I? Weren't you gonna shoot me just now?
I wanna get out of here!
Then throw your weapon into the swamp and give me your car keys.
I'll...
You'll what? Die in utter misery?
They didn't animate him jumping over the log or getting stuck in the marsh.
There. Now get me out of here.
Not so fast.
Let's ask the important questions.
Who ordered you to kidnap me?
You're supposed to pull me out of this!
Was it this secret society?
I don't know anything about a secret society.
The Order. That means nothing to you?
Yeah. Okay. I was supposed to find you, knock you out, and bring you here.
And then?
She was going to call me on the phone and give me further instructions.
She?
A woman. Sounded quite old. No idea who she is.
And she didn't want me staying in Willow Creek?
Yeah. I was supposed to bring you here as soon as possible.
Do you know who belongs to the Order?
No idea. I've only ever seen these nutters over by the mine. They were wearing masks. I don't know who they all were.
So the old lady might be the old lady that lived on this place in the first game, and she might be trying to save me by kidnapping me. Maybe. That doesn't make sense though, because then that still puts the Order as the good guys, and it doesn't line up as a scenario where the Order are the bad guys and then there is also a good guy team that we just haven't really realized. Although maybe the good guys infiltrated the Order and they're the bad guys.
What's going on with Angelina?
Apparently
Is she
Tom
involved
won't
with all
die.
this?
I've already told you. I don't know any Angelina.
Tja, I'm inclined to doubt that. She was only in the village a few days ago.
Then I didn't see her.
You would certainly have noticed her.
One more time. I don't know any Angelina, and there was nobody sniffing around the village either. Except you, okay? Throw me a bloody rope, will you? Or something or other.
Alright then, I'm gone. The police will be here soon.
Get me out of here!
Why? Do you seriously believe you're gonna be sucked to the bottom? Idiot.
Then we get a load screen with some audio playing in the background. And we're back to Willow Creek. Not a terrible thought that there was a break between Willow Creek and the other sections we just experienced.
Excuse me, sir. There's
But-
been a letter delivered for you.
There was way too much stuff that happened in between then and the last time we
delivered it?
were in Willow Creek.
I
and
don't
now.
know. It was in the hotel's post box. but there's no stamp on it, so it must have been delivered personally.
Huh. Thanks. Hey, it's from Angelina.
I wouldn't immediately just assume.
Dear Darren, I haven't been completely honest with you.
I've been concerned with Willow Creek and Black Mirror for some time, and it was you I was looking for in Biddeford. I stumbled upon something there that I don't want to write about here. I can only tell you this much. You are in danger. There's a group of people who are out to kill you. They were already after you in Maine. They caught me here in Willow Creek. I managed to escape, and I've been hiding in a safe place since then. I found out today that you are here. I'll explain everything to you and hope that you will forgive me. No, I know that you'll forgive me when you know the dreadful truth. Come to the old lighthouse tonight at 11 o'clock. Make sure that no one follows you. I'll explain everything to you there. Together we can put an end to this whole thing. Take care of yourself, and trust no one. You don't know who might belong to the Order.
Like,
Angelina.
the hotel manager might belong to the Order, and so might Angela. And they may have written this note as a kind of insurance, in case you ever showed back up. Also, we're not getting the subtitles, so if you're having trouble reading this, as I kind of am, not too bad actually this time, they zoomed in pretty good. That kind of sucks. It's not default easy to read text
Angelina's
like this.
alive.
This
That's the
text
good
is
news.
kind of bad too.
What
It
kind of a
needs
game is she playing?
more solid background.
Can I trust her? She lied to me. She knew about this place the whole time. And I'm sure she wasn't unfamiliar with Reginald Boris either. The question is, what side is she on? What's she up to? Either way, I'm gonna find out this evening at the lighthouse. But I should take some precautions. The only place where I'll get a few honest answers is in the Chronicle of the Gordons. Once I know which role the Order plays, perhaps I can deduce what game Angelina's playing. I've got to find a way to read the Chronicle in the museum.
So what do we have with inventory now? Everything, and there's kind of nothing new to look at.
No, I don't know what I could ask Murray right now.
So let's go to the rooms and just double check to make sure that there's not anything new here. We lost our fast travel function from the first chapter, and that's a big pain.
There's nothing in my room that could help me in my search for Angelina.
Doesn't seem like we're ever gonna get into this redecorated area. See, I think what you would have done, what you could have done better, is have the player go in the sewers, and from the sewers get caught, and then get transferred to Wales, and cut out all of the underground mine sewer stuff, because that was just extra escape room stuff that could have been in other places, or could have just been left on the cutting room floor. Like, it didn't add anything. You can tell even now it had no additional value to it. Is just padding out the number of puzzles in a very bad way. And let's see. Trust no one, so immediately go into the pub. Alright, we can't go into the pub.
The pub's shut. No wonder. Tom's rather held up in Wales for the time being.
So I assume this Texas Chili stand and booth, that whole storyline has been dropped like a rock. Like, the whole idea of having a fair, the whole idea of potentially people thinking that there'd be a tourist trade in Willow Creek. Like, any conversation about that, any backstory about that doesn't matter anymore. We still really don't have anything that would plug up this barrel. So, to the museum we go. And this would be the point, once we get in the museum. This would be the point where if we can read the item, the history of the Gordons, that we would be able to do a flashback
Other than
scenario.
that, there's nothing here.
Let's talk to a tourist. Is this the same tourist or a different tourist?
I wouldn't know what to talk about with these two.
And we saw in our dream that the display cabinet was going to go up in flames. See, I think you probably could just get away with an "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm going to open this cabinet and turn the page."
Bobby's gone, but I'm not gonna get my hands on the book as long as these tourists are around. Perhaps I could hide and wait until the museum closes. I wouldn't know what to talk about with these two.
But you can't get in the chest.
A great place to hide.
So we'll just hide in the cupboard. He's just staring at her until she leaves. Interesting,
So
creepy.
I've just gotta wait. The museum closes in an hour.
So, in theory,
Hard to believe that I really did fall asleep.
did his
But
clothes
it's only
change?
just after 9, and I've got enough time to have a look at the Chronicle and then go to the lighthouse.
I think his clothes did
It's damn
change.
dark here. Good that at least a few lights are left on overnight.
I swear his clothes changed. Let's see. Can we find a picture of one of these? Green jacket, blue jeans. Green jacket, blue jeans. Green jacket, blue jeans. Green jacket, green jeans. Ridiculous. Buggy game. Buggy game. Like, so yeah, maybe there could be a flashback act, and then at the very end, you have the great reveal with Angelina.
And therefore, our brotherhood should operate in the spirit of this great man for all time. It shall serve beyond the dominion
already
of
read
our
this
great
part.
strength lies in us. For if no, therefore, the member at order, no out, be wary, my.
So, turn the page over now is something we can do. And apparently we can read this page and then we can turn it back.
Let's have a look then. This is where the part about the order seems to begin. Only the brave actions of this valiant man preserved us from Mordred. It is to him, Father Matthias, that we owe for our life and freedom. Let his name not be forgotten, no less his doings, which we carry with us in our hearts. But nevermore shall the destiny of our community lie on the shoulders of one man alone. A man who may not possess the strength of Father Matthias and cannot withstand the powers of evil as he did. Therefore, a secret society shall be founded. The most decent and brave men of our community shall belong to it. They shall guard the academy and the key, the sacrifice room and the scriptures. They shall be the very men that stand between the world and the abyss. They shall pass their knowledge of Mordred and his dark forces from generation to generation. They shall be the descendants of Father Matthias in both spirit and action, for he gave himself for the well-being of us all. Does that mean the Order want to prevent Mordred from gaining power again?
Who's Mordred? How would you
100-year-old
know?
crazy ass. Crazy. But assuming the people in the Order really believe in it, then why are they after me? I don't intend to bring Mordred or any other bad spirits back into the world. And even if, how could I? These guys are completely nuts. People have been murdered here because of this ghost story. And Angelina, does she believe in this? Huh. Time that I ask her just that. We're gonna meet at the lighthouse soon.
So now what? And the page can be turned over, and you can read the second part of that if you want to, but it doesn't really matter. And let's go ahead and save, because I imagine as soon as I come out and exit back, something will happen. It's been another 45 minutes. I would be way too overly optimistic to hope that in the next recording we're done with this game. I don't think so. I think there's a whole nother act to go. We still don't really have any progress or answers to any questions. That's part of the bad writing of this game too. Like, there should have been something revealed, a step in the right direction. I'm not even sure I recall a specific point where Darren was learned or confirmed that he was a Gordon at all. Like, I'm not sure we got that full evidence. We only have slight suspicions, where I think a good writer would have ended Act 1 saying, I'm a Gordon, and end on that cliffhanger, and then Act 2 would be the next day when he's come to realize his role in this whole story. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I ask you to friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good